You just go, whoa. I just wonder if stuff that I suspected and thought he was doing up until Tuesday, that I was right about that too. Yeah, just horrifying, actually. Horrifying. Like I said, I completely called it. One, I don't think he's as retarded and mentally incompetent as he tries to pretend he is when he's retreating. Okay, just you're trying to say that you're going to try to pretend you're too effed up for a relationship, and that um, you didn't realize on Tuesday, all you had to do was go listen to, I can't believe some of the stuff you say to me, Brian, and have a conversation. You didn't realize that on Tuesday night? Come on. Come on. Right. Um, I don't even think he thought that I would take him back again. Yeah, just why? Right. You just go, why? You don't even like me. We don't have sex. You don't want to conversate with me. You have a whole other private world you live in, Brian. You really do. You have a whole other private world you live in that you're never going to share with me and come out of what you're doing because you don't want to. So, anyways, I don't know if that's the binder and God retreats you or something, because I wanted to know the guy's name and address. It's Almighty God. So, his need to be sadistic and hurt me by calling me and telling me that overrode. He doesn't care about a stranger. He's having a panic attack because I asked questions about this person. Give me a break. You're talking about a person that knows you're married, okay, and is picking up male prostitutes that are married in Harvard Square. You could give me a disease. Everybody cares about that, Brian. I'm sure you don't care about a stranger you just met. Right. Panic attack, your sugar level's probably low. You're a drunk. You went off of all that medication and you've been drinking and you're out of your head. And you want to leave the hospital and drink. You're not having a panic attack. Yeah, it has to do with detoxing off of alcohol and probably being dehydrated and not eating. I'm not the reason you don't want to eat dinner. I'm not the reason you're going to take off from the hospital. I'm not the reason that you called me to try to create a reason when none of that's needed. If they weren't going to hold you there against your will, they're not going to do it after calling me. I know, you just go, that's all they do is just give them Ativan and then they leave. They don't even want help. Remember, Johnny wouldn't go in an ambulance after he kept falling down and hitting his head? He literally kept falling. He fell down an escalator and said he wouldn't get in an ambulance if we called it. He was falling on the train and everything. That's why that dude is dead. I can guarantee you that guy died. Okay, just when it's cold outside, it is freezing out, and this guy may have already left the hospital he was in right now. He said he signed his, I don't know what that's for, but like immediately, yeah, like I thought this part of it was sadistic, but this part is logistical that makes sense. When he said people were having visitors, and then he goes, I wouldn't ask you to come and visit because it's too far away, and what would we really say anyway? Like at first I thought that part was sadistic, but it's actually he knew he wasn't going to stay there. He just wants to talk to them to find out when he can leave. He doesn't care about Mary being alone in a warming center. Get it? He did this in April, and I was too afraid to go back to the warming center. I sat up all night for 3 nights, and finally, my other sister was concerned because of my medical condition and let me go to her house. I stated too, I know he did something in April that he's still not telling me about. I know it. Just something happened, and like that was brutal, man. That was brutal at Porter. That was brutal. He says some weird thing about some chick because he wants to cause a fight, and I think it's that black guy that seemed weird and all drugged out. So I don't know if that's the guy he ended up hanging out with. Right, and you just go, he probably had sex with him. The guy's probably has full-blown AIDS. He looked bad. Yeah, just I knew it was weird. The guy was all weird and offering Brian his food and leaning in and stuff. Oh, yeah, and then it's attack me, tell me to leave and go shake over there because I was all PTSD, shaking and upset. It took me a long time to leave too. All those people that he said that I take off, did you see how long I stood there and tolerated that? Even shaking like that? He wouldn't stop telling me to leave. So I left. He didn't come after me. Nothing. Like, seriously, you screamed at her to leave. Obviously, she's not going to show up at the warming center that night. And it was like the last week it was open, and then we were supposed to go camping right after. We ended up going camping, and that's when I told you about what happened with the, yeah. Wait, that couldn't have been when we did, that was a different time we went camping, right? And then we went again in June. Well, yeah, you got to think. It was the warming center closed on May 1st or May 2nd. So it was like into May. Okay, that makes sense. Maybe we didn't actually go camping until June. I don't remember how long it was at my sister's. I didn't think it was that long, but it was probably at least a week. Um, nope. We probably were sleeping outside. Right now, we were sleeping outside, and then we went camping again. We probably went camping twice. Okay, we went camping again in June, and that's when they said I could go into the shelter. Okay, it was probably 2 separate camping trips. All right, so anyway, hey, if a sadistic psychopath needs to use me as an excuse to keep killing himself, it is what it is. I had to take the phone call. I'm his spouse, his POA, and his healthcare proxy. I didn't know if the hospital was going to start. Hi. That was fast.